Hello, everyone. I haven't recorded anything in a while, but today I decided to do something I've never done before, which is open source contribution. And why am I doing this? First of all, because I think I should. I've been coding and making money using open source things, and I've never given back, you know? Imagine that someone hired me to do a job and there was no open source stuff. Let's say I just had Python and nothing else. I wouldn't get paid because I wouldn't really produce that much, so I need to give back to the community. That being said, I found a problem a couple of years ago with FastAPI, and I'm going to show you, and this is it. Imagine you have three endpoints, and one endpoint is, it takes an arbitrary value, it's like user/ID, and then the other one gets coconut and then watermelon. If you look at this, what do you think will happen if I go and try to get coconut? Okay. So let's see, I try to get coconut. What fruit coconut? It should be hello world. But it matched here. And what if I try to go for watermelon? What fruit watermelon? So it also came here. And to me, this is misleading. Because if I change the order in which they're defined, let's run this again. Coconut. Hello world. Now we get hello world. But if we get watermelon, it still comes here. So the order in which you define the endpoints matters, and it makes absolutely no sense to me. I think that the way that it should work is that it should look for the best match. And I want to do an open source contribution that changes this, because I found this error a couple of years ago, and today I looked for it and it's still here. So, how are we going to fix this? So the first thing, I already looked into this. I looked at the FastAPI code. So if I just SSH, doesn't make a difference, but so get clone FastAPI. So if I look at the FastAPI code and try to see where the problem is, I'm going to break it down to you. I already know where the problem is. The problem is not in FastAPI. The FastAPI relies on Starlette, and actually Starlette does the heavy lifting. FastAPI is just like the outer layer of it, but the matching algorithm comes from Starlette. And I can show you in almost there. Okay, I was expecting it to finish when it hit the 100% over there, but it didn't. Okay, so now we wait. Okay, so code FastAPI. So if we search for .match, it's here. We have like two functions that call it, and this here this is the API WebSocket route, and we also, what happened? What the hell just happened? What? Match deploy doc status. Match. Matches. I think, yeah, matches. Like so. Confused now. Oh yeah, exactly. Matches. So this is the API WebSocket, and this is the API route, and this is what we're using for the HTTP endpoints. This calls super, then matches. And what does this do, actually? This, since it's super, then it looks at routing.routes, and routing is imported from Starlette. And it's that function that actually looks at all the routes that we already have and tries to match. So let me just skip and start working on Starlette. So if we want to work on do any contributions, the first thing we need to do is we need to fork a repository. So here's Starlette, and now we fork it. Fork. And now I have to clone it. Get clone. I think this is a lighter repository in FastAPI. It's actually like a lot of people talk, oh, FastAPI is amazing, it's amazing, but actually the amazing part kind of comes from Starlette. I think Starlette doesn't get the necessary recognition. So, okay, here we are. So now if we want to do stuff, the docs, I read the docs previously, they tell me to go to scripts and then install. So scripts, install. So it's creating a virtual environment, then we'll have a folder here. And I think, by the way, do I have it here? Okay, yeah, so scripts test. And then we have like a lint, and then check everything. Docs. To run the documentation side locally. I don't care about that. Okay, so, by the way, where is the matches function? Here it is. So this is like an abstract thing. This is also calling it. This matches. No, for the WebSocket, mount matches what we want. Okay, so let's start here. If we look at this, the app router, and then you get the scope, and the scope is like the request that you receive. And then for every route in the list of routes that you have, which is your endpoints, it tries to match with an endpoint. And if you have a full match, then it ends. And then it checks for a partial match. But this is the problem here. It's this return. And if we look back here, this is what it's doing. It has a list, and it checks the first one, then it checks the second one. It's like, oh, this is a full match. Like if you do watermelon, oh, it's not coconut. Oh, full match, then let's finish this. But this is not what we want. We want to check if there's an even better match, because there might be one. So we have like two approaches here. So either we sort the routes to have the by the number of path parameters they use, or we just iterate over all of them and try to find the best match. I think sorting would be actually more efficient, but I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to just check through all of them, because there might be an edge case where sorting is not really the way to go. Actually, can't see a reason why not. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do something which is match full. So full match full match route, which is none, and full match best number of path params, which is going to be math.infinite. And okay, so let me just open this again. And now the virtual environment is ready. Yep, we're using the virtual environment. Okay, cool. So what we do here is, actually, I don't want to use math. I'm going to use none. So import math. Full path params. Oh, there's more path params than I was expecting. I think this is around line 7,000 or something. Okay, here we are. Change the keyboard language to US again. It's suddenly, like, using Windows suddenly switches back to different keyboard layouts. It's so annoying. Okay, so if the match is full, we can do something. Okay, so number of path params is going to be equal to the child scope here will contain it. If we check here the matches. Yeah, so path parameters, child scope will be endpoints and then path parameters. So child scope path params. And then I guess that if number of path parameters equals 0, then we can just do this. But if it's not 0, then we can always find a better one. So if full match route is none, or actually, or is not none, and number of path params is smaller than full and then this one, then we do this. So full match route equals route. Full match scope equals child scope. And again, I'm following like what's here, the same logic for this partial match that later on we'll check if partial is not none. And of course, I need to update this to be equal to the number of path parameters. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we just need to do this. If full match route is not none, then scope update full match route, and then partial match route handle. Yep. Oh, no. Full match scope. Yep. Scope update, full match scope. I guess this is it. So I'm just going to leave a comment here explaining the logic. In case we have to routes that fully match the requested URL, we need to check which one is a less a stricter match. Stricter match. And then like, okay, so now let me just give an example. Example. The requested URL is /user/ myself. We have two endpoints. /user/user ID. /user/myself. It's user myself. If the request URL is myself, then both endpoints are a full match. However, the last one is a more appropriate choice. In case of ambiguity. I think this is the word. The word is ambiguity here. And in case of ambiguity, we want to go for the strict thing. So, I guess this is it. So let me see what happens. So now, I think that if I come here, I can check the tests. Okay, so scripts test. Yep. Of course, the $sign always comes. What the hell? What's going on? The hell is this? I just want to test. Test. Check. Okay, so it's... Okay. It's saved and it's formatted, but it formatted incorrectly, so I guess that... Okay. So check, clean, check. Rough format, check. Instead, I can just do this. Rough format. And file reformatted. Okay, so it's all good. MyPy not found. I don't have MyPy? MyPy? Okay, well, let's do this. Okay, so running MyPy just to check for types, problems with types. But then we're going to go for PyTest, and that's where things will start to be weird. Why is PyTest output? Really? Okay, MyPy is good. PyTest. Go for it. Show me what you got. And I know it's gonna fail. Right. Okay. So I'm just gonna come here. Let me just get stash. So all the changes are gone. So, and I'm going to do the pi test again to see if all the tests pass or if there's any issue. Well, not all tests pass. So what the hell? Oh, like I don't get it. Source, then activate. Source. I have two vims. The hell is going on? Seriously? Like, this is failing because of formatting stuff. I really don't know what's going on. So Starlette, and then source venv bin activate pytest. This is extremely unexpected because everything is failing because of small spaces. Wow. I'm actually going to ignore this. I'm going to ignore this because I don't really want to waste that much time on this video doing that. I'm just going to try to see if I can run the tests on the debugger, and for some reason I can't. Venv bin python, is this the same VM? Pip install requirements.txt. Does it need to install the requirements again? Don't know. Anyways, get cd starlette and then git stash apply. So now I have like the files back. Is it because it just like lingers here forever after building Starlette? So I wonder if this is the issue, that it just stays here. Okay, so if we look here, the tests are failing, and gosh, this is so annoying. If we go to test routing, there's a test that's failing here, because if we get the user slash no match, we get this and we should get something different. If we get stash and we run the same tests again, so pytest tests and test routing.py, everything passes. So the reason here why this happens is because we have something here, which is the slash users and then slash something me username and then no match. And if someone goes for the no match and URL user slash no match, it comes here. And in my opinion, it shouldn't. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change this test to user not match. And now it's doing the not match. And then user no match. It should return fixed no match, which is the expected result. Okay, now it works. Okay. However, this doesn't really cover the entirety of what I've built. So what I want to do now is add 2 new endpoints. So it's going to be slash username slash greet and slash action. And so I'm going to create user greet and then user action. So it's going to be user greet, and it's going to be user plus greeted, and user action. It's going to be plus action plus and now if we go back here to the requests, we need to call them, otherwise it don't make any sense to they just don't exist. And I'm even going to use the no match, and then it's going to be greet, because in this case it will really, even if we have the slash no match, but if we have the slash greet, it will have to match the wildcard logic. So user no match greeted, and then user no match complemented action complemented. .404. Wow. Greet. Why is this not working? Complement. Oh, of course. Yep. So yeah, this works. So I'm going to run rough check again. All checks pass. Rough format. So let me just look at my routing. Yeah, so it's all the same. So we have those 2 new endpoints. These 2 new things, and what is here? So I don't want this. I want this to be as it was. No, come on. What the hell? Save without formatting. Why did you format? The hell? So, I don't even... Really? How did this happen? I'm trying to save this without formatting, so save without formatting. Are we good? User warning. Take away the comma. U command plus save without formatting. Okay, I guess this is good. So, reformat my pie check. Good. Pie test. Test everything again. I am going to ignore this. I have no idea why this is happening. But this seems like silly. This doesn't seem like anything I did. So, I'm going to create a new branch, and it's going to be improve URL matching algorithm to in case of ambiguity. And I'm going to do the same thing here, and I'm going to push. Oh, really? Seriously? Get set user. How do user dot email? How do we do it? Get set user email. Yeah, I've been using Git with Windows, but now I'm using it with WSL. Okay, so I'm publishing my branch. So improved. Yep. Is this actually going to? No. I was curious if it was going to trigger any checks. So if I compare and pull request base repository, so I want to merge from my repository to the master branch of the remote repository, so the actual Starlette. Okay, thanks for contributing to Starlette. Given this is a project maintained by volunteers, use the template, not waste of time or our summary. Write a small summary about what's happening here. This is solution for cases of ambiguity in the defined routes. Example, we have two routes /user /myself /user ID. If I make a request to /user /myself, Starlette will match it to the /user route because it is defined first and it results in a full match. However, this is not. This is ambiguous, and the result would be different if the endpoints were defined in a different order by the developer. In my opinion, it shouldn't matter the order that they are defined in. Starlette should look for the best match in case of ambiguity. Currently, it stops looking when it finds a full match. I suggest it keeps looking for full matches and chooses the one that is stricter, which is defined by which is the lowest number of path parameters used. Checklist, understand that this PR may be closed in case there was no previous discussion. Apply to typos. Yep. The test for each change I did. I've updated the documentation code. I have not. But let's see what happens. So I'm going to start my first open source contribution right now. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So let's see if the tests pass. I'm actually curious because they didn't pass on my laptop, but I don't see why they wouldn't in a 100% Linux environment. And honestly, I've done some development before this video, and I tried all of this, and the tests were passing. So I don't know what happened this time. Who knows? So I guess that this is not the end. Of course, I want to follow this through. But this is already a contribution. This is already something I've never done before, and I think that every developer should. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you next time. Oh, it passed! Okay, so I guess that there's no reason why it wouldn't pass for 3.12, 3.13. So, I'm happy. This was nice. This was very, very nice. See you later, guys.